Alright, welcome to the introduction of Rank 2 Venom. This guy is just really awesome, man. I've been playing him for like the past week or so, and yeah, he has been really impressing me, to be honest, both on attack and on defense. If you haven't seen the video, you'll just see how much of a powerhouse defender this guy is. But yeah, on attack though, still really good. I feel like he is more of an attack character for sure, and this is just like, it's just proof here because he's a very strong bleed champion, and in this showcase I messed up a lot. I didn't run deep wounds for the entire showcase, and that is really dang annoying, right? But this is just the introduction video anyway. Like, the full-on showcase will be like probably next week or something, and I'll have, you know, proper masteries there, right? But yeah, here we just have no deep wounds, and he is still just clobbering this fight. Actually, wait, no. I have deep wounds for this one fight, and then the rest is no deep wounds, sorry. But yeah, like, he still does really good here. Like, the damage output is very strong. The precisions do most of the work, I feel like, because he is a bleed character for the most part. So having all those crits just means more bleeds and just massive DPS, right? And then we drop the SP2, and yeah, some very nice numbers right there. So that was like about 1 minute and 5 seconds, not too bad at all. So now let's see how he does in like some act paths, right? And Venom is just good for questing because he just counters so much. He's very good for Spider-Man characters, right? Because he cancels their evade abilities. And additionally, he has so many cosmic tropes that he's just probably one of the go-tos for cosmic questing. He has access to a lot of buffs, both stackable and unique ones, and additionally he has access to armor break, which is really useful as well, and if need be, you have access to power burn immunity and power drain immunity. So like for Penny Parker and for other lanes like that, just very solid there. And yeah, just overall a really fun quester because the damage output is just very good, and it is tailored towards like a lot of cosmic lanes. But not only that, he also takes a lot of bleed lanes as well. So there's just a lot of benefit to having this guy like on your questing team, right? So now we have this cosmic lane right here. It is tailored towards armor break, right? And you know, Venom naturally has it, so this should be a pretty clean fight. And one thing about Venom that I really love is, actually no, one thing I don't really like about Venom is to access the armor break, you have to reroll your buff. And that's kind of annoying to do because, like, let's say you really need an armor break, right? But you have like a precision up right now. So you have to do a heavy attack, and then the precision turns into like physical resistance, right? That is just really annoying. But besides that, it's still really easy to access, so that's pretty sweet. And while I was talking there, he just destroyed that fight. So yeah, it's quite crazy, man. Now we have the Spider-Man stealth suit, and like I said, Venom counters all Spider-Man characters, which is pretty sweet. To be fair though, Miles Morales is like the one Spider-Man champion that Venom doesn't counter because he is a miss champion, and Venom only counters the evade of Spider-Man characters. I wish he could like counter the miss as well, but it is what it is, right? He's still really good for most of these champions. And then watch this, we can just go back in, drop the SP2, and yeah, it is just game over for Spider-Man. Look at this damage output, just really strong. And yeah, he's so much fun to play also. I love aggressive characters, like, you know, Lady Deathstrike is my personal favorite right now, and like Mole Man as well, both super aggressive characters. And Venom is like the epitome of aggressiveness because he just has some aggressive animations, and like he is just a very dedicated damage dealer, right? So yeah, I just love everything about this guy. He is just so much fun to play. He is like my cup of tea for sure, and honestly, I feel like he is like the best Cosmic 7-star out there because like his damage output is just so good, and there's no rotation. There's just pure like madness. Yeah, there's just pure madness with this guy. So yeah, like, I love Venom. I heavily suggest the rank up for sure because at rank 2 he becomes a pretty good defender as well. I have proof. Okay, I have proof for that. But yeah, this fight's going pretty well. Basically, you want to just give them armor up so they can get like, you know, 3+, and then you can start doing damage. But yeah, like I was saying, I feel like this guy probably the best cosmic attacker in the 7-star pool until like Hyperion comes out. But like he's just so good at what he does, and that's just like being a monster quester and just being a very aggressive champion. I know Gore is also in the pool, and he's also great, don't get me wrong, but I just like the simplicity of Venom because you just go in, you just dish out a ton of damage, if you have to reroll your buffs, just drop a heavy attack and you just end the fight very, very fast. So yeah, I just love Venom for that reason, man. He's so simple to play and he is just so much fun as well. So yeah, Venom, big fan of the guy. And you know, if you know me, you know I love extra large champions. So like having Venom at rank 2, and by the way, he has 70,000 health. That is so much health, man. Like 70,000, I feel so safe. I feel like I just have a blanket around me and it is just a cozy campfire beside me. I feel so comfortable with Venom because he has so much health to play around with. Like he is just so safe, man. But yeah, this fight, we do more damage per unique buff, and yeah, it is just... Oh no, we do more damage if we have a non-damaging debuff, right? And Venom has armor break, so yeah, that just ended really fast. And now we have this lane, and this lane will be a lot faster with deep wounds, but he still just clobbers this lane, man. So this is the Rage 1.5 lane, and I originally thought that Venom was like a basic hit damage dealer, right? I thought he just did most of his damage output from basic hits, but this fight just proved me wrong. He is a bleed champion for sure. His bleeds just do so much damage and they do so much work for him as well. So he just puts in a ton of bleed numbers, man. And yeah, like Venom, very strong bleed champion. Like probably one of the strongest out there for sure. And like even his basic hits are still very good, but it's the bleeds that just like make him who he is, right? So I feel like whenever you're gaining your buffs, I feel like the best thing to aim for is precision because that gives you increased crit rating, and whenever you crit, you bleed the opponent. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And yeah, he's unblockable now, but the fight's almost over, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, he just got obliterated, man. And that was a Rage 1.5 lane, so that just shows how good his bleed damage is overall. Moving on, we have this Shang-Chi on the same lane. And yeah, same result, just some monstrous bleed damage output. We start off with precision, which is really good because like I said, precision gives you the bleeds and bleeds just put in the most work for Venom. And yeah, like the more I play this champion, the more there is to discover about the character because like, you know, he's pretty simple with like, you know, just stacking the buffs, getting your precisions, getting your furies, and just dropping the heavy attack if need be, and then dropping the SP2. But there is a lot to like learn about the champion too. Like, you know, I thought at first that you just want to build to SP2, drop it, and then that's it. But no, that's not the case at all. You want to just maintain your precision buffs because the bleed damage just does more work. And like Venom at base, his crit rating isn't all that, so yeah, it's just best to maintain the precisions and just keep that as like your form of damage output, right? And yeah, I love the guy, man. He's so much fun. He's so like simple but effective for sure. And now we have this bleed lane, and you know Venom, a really strong bleed champion, so yeah, it should be pretty fun. So here we start with physical resistance, right? And this reminds me, Venom Unawakened is situationally better than being awakened because here's the thing, Venom's dupe lets him start off with 2 buffs at minimum, right? But that means that one of those buffs cannot be controlled. So like let's say you start the fight and you get like a physical resistance first and then you get like a armor up. You can't take one of those away. And that's just, I'm not a fan of that. I like controlling all my buffs. And by the way, while I was talking, he just destroyed that fight in like an insane amount of time. And it's crazy because like this isn't deep wounds gameplay either, so this could be much faster as well. But like I was saying, that's why I kind of like the Unawakened Venom a little bit more because like let's say you start off with precision, you can just leave it like that. But like let's say you start off with physical resistance and then precision, you have the precision still, but you also have to keep that physical resistance buff, which is pretty dang annoying, right? But yeah, like, I don't know, man. I like Undue Venom a little bit more. But then again, there is like a consolation prize because you also get increased potency for your buffs, like at like max sig, which is pretty dang noticeable for sure. So yeah, like it has its pros and cons, definitely. And now we have this really fun lane. So this is a science lane, but Venom still takes it with like absolute ease. So like, this goes to show how good of a quester he is. He takes things he shouldn't really be taking, right? And I love champions like that. I love champions that are just, like, more broad than what they usually are in their class, right? Like, you know, some science champions just only take science stuff. Some cosmic characters only take cosmic stuff. But no, Venom, he can, like, branch out for sure. And that's really fun because this guy is just so much fun to play. So using him anywhere is just a massive bonus for me, right? But yeah, this fight just goes pretty well. We do not have a precision yet, unfortunately, but we can still just get it eventually. Like, watch this. We go for the parry, get a Fury that time, which is fine. But like I said, Venom's crit rating isn't all that, so you might have to just keep re-rolling for precision buff. Because, yeah, it just does so much for him, man. Like, the precision, I think it's like plus 600, 700 potency, which is pretty dang good. But yeah, this fight, he just did so well for it. And now we have Spider-Man on the next lane. I mean, the next, like, fight, sorry. And, yeah, Venom, of course, just countering all Spider-Man. And honestly, I love this because some of the Spider-Men are so annoying, in my opinion. Like, you know, Stark Spidey, his evade is so small, but when it happens and he retaliates, he just, like, destroys you, pretty much. So, yeah, that's pretty annoying, right? But, Venom just doesn't worry about that at all, which is pretty dang sweet. So, yeah, the Spider-Man characters, they are somewhat annoying to fight still, in my opinion. But, like, any evade counter does well against them, but Venom just does the best against them, right? And I love that because, you know, Venom, iconic Spider-Man villain or anti-hero, whatever you want to call it. Is he a villain? It says villain in the game, but I feel like this was pretty old, right? Like, this was before the Venom movie came out. So, I don't know if he's still, like, a villain or regarded as one. I don't really know. But, yeah, that fight was super clean. Now we have this Cosmic Lane here, and you know how I said he, like, really handles most Cosmic Lanes? Here's an example, because right here, pre-unique buff, you get bonus chance to trigger Vigilance, and then the Vigilance gives you Fury passive, so yeah, it just leads to some pretty awesome numbers, right? Like right there, 18,000 mediums already, and things are just looking pretty good for us, right? But yeah, like, he's just such a good Cosmic Quester, man. He just takes any Cosmic Lane with absolute ease, and, like, if they were to just change the meta a bit and, like, make it a power drain type of lane, he will still handle that with ease because he is power drain immune, right? And that is such, like, a meta Cosmic thing to have. And he's, like, so old and he still has it, which is just so much fun, man. And yeah, he just destroyed that fight. Now we have this Yondu fight here, and it's the same thing, just getting the Vigilance up, destroying the fight afterwards. Usual Venom things, right? And, like, here we get some Fury passives, and we also have some Cruelties up. The Cruelties, I feel like, are pretty good to stack as well, but over time, they start to diminish in value, which is not so fun, but it's still nice. I feel like the best buff setup is probably like 2 Furies, 2 Cruelties, and 3 Precisions, to be honest. Yeah, I feel like that is the best setup for sure. Then here we drop the SP1, and he is just melting, and he is melted. Yeah. While I was talking there, he just destroyed that fight. And now we have this Killmonger here, and this Killmonger, not the most fun time, but then again, Venom is a very strong Killmonger counter because his armor break is very consistent, so yeah, he will just keep the fight in control for sure. But then again, Killmonger is still Killmonger, right? So just really annoying to deal with for sure. Here, jumping on the heavy attack, and we're just getting the bad buff rolls, man, which kind of sucks. Like, one thing about Venom is you can keep re-rolling all you want, but there is no stopping you from just getting, like, permanent physical resistances, right? Which is somewhat annoying, but then again, it is pretty rare to happen. I feel like you'll usually get the buff you want if you keep rolling enough, but yeah, it's not always guaranteed, right? But yeah, this fight's going pretty well. The armor break is just still doing its work. We're just controlling this fight with ease, and he's doing pretty sweet. The bleeds are starting to tick now, thankfully, like 2.5k per tick, pretty dang solid. But now he's unblockable, which is pretty scary, but we can just use the Relic Stun here. And then, by the way, the Venom Relic is made for literally just Venom, I feel like. This thing is so good on Venom. It gives him a nice damage boost because, like I said, Venom is a bleed champion, right? So having, like, all those bleed vulnerabilities just does a lot for the champion for sure. And yeah, a massive heavy attack there, and he just destroyed that fight. Very, very nice. And now we have this auto block lane, and this is made for cosmic characters with, like, a lot of buffs, and Venom is just that. He has a ton of buffs on hand, so he can just do this with absolute ease. So basically, they have a chance to auto block, right? But it goes down by like 20% per unique buff. So like at 4 buffs, you just completely counter the lane, right? Which is really fun because Venom has a ton of buffs like at hand, right? And this also has Cosmic Grit as well, so you'll get increased aptitudes and all that, which is really, really cool. And yeah, now the damage output is just starting to skyrocket, and he is just, destroying this fight. And then watch this. We dropped the SP2. Very, very nice numbers there. He had no chance whatsoever. Very, very fun fight. Like 30 seconds as well, so pretty dang sweet. And here we have another fight on this lane. Very straightforward. Poor buff starts, unfortunately. Like, man, that was like 4 buff rolls, like all of the bad ones. And that's like, that sucks to see sometimes, but also it's pretty rare for the most part. So yeah, it is what it is. Here, drop the SP1, and now we have a lot of buffs on hand, so we can just counter the lane completely. And then we're just doing some very nice bleed numbers now. But watch this. We go for the SP2, and yeah, the result is just quite wild, man. 40,000 per hit. And yeah, just no chance of surviving that. The bleeds are just doing insane numbers as well. Now we have some act bosses here, and this is just like a really fun fight because Penny Parker has power burn, right? But Venom just completely counters her. So he is like one of the best options for her for sure. Like in Battlegrounds 2, he will just melt her like a lot. He just does everything you need to counter Penny Parker. Like, he also shreds through the block as well. So yeah, Venom is just so good, man. He's just so good. He's so like useful still for even like the most meta things, and he's super old, right? So that's just really fun to see. And yeah, now we have like a really good buff setup already. There I get hit, but it's fine. He has 70,000 health, so he can take a hit for sure. That is so crazy, man. Like 70,000 health, it is just so much to deal with. Like in like Battlegrounds defense too, he has a ton of health because yeah, I think it's like what, 200 and hold on, let me just think real quick. I think it's like 280,000. Yeah, that is so much health to deal with, man. Like on a Venom 2, because his like SP2, if it's like you miss a dex, you are not surviving that. Like, I hate to break it to you, but you're not surviving that. They are like totally with that heavy attack, but it is what it is. We still have a really good buff setup for sure. We have like 4 Furies now, so she is just getting melted. And yeah, like this fight is just super clean. Here we just try to break the shield a little bit. It's working for sure. There she auto blocks me, but look at that. We just destroyed the shield already. Very fun times. And yeah, this fight is just going really well. Now we have a second precision up, which is perfect. And yeah, this fight is just almost over already. Like 20,000 mediums. We're chilling, man. We're just chilling. And here we just go back in, go for the intercept once again. And yeah, 20,000 hits. He's just so much fun to play, man. And the results are just really fun as well. Like, I just love Venom so much, man. He was my first rank 2 7-star. Do not regret it. I'm glad it was him first. Like, Sunspot, my second one, I would have loved that as well, but to be honest, Venom is just more unique and more fun to play sometimes. No, they're both really fun to play, to be honest. But yeah, that fight, obliterated, really clean, sub 2 minutes as well. And now we have this fight. This fight is really weird. So this is steady perseverance, right? But also has poison vulnerability and critical setup. And yeah, it's just like, watch this. We go for a double hit, and there we have the poison active. So now watch this. Look at our medium hits. It is a lot of damage now for sure, and he is just getting like melted now. A really fun fight for sure. Like, I love this fight. It's so like weird, but it's also just really fun. Like, yeah, those mediums are doing a number for sure. And like the bleed as well, the poison as well, just doing a lot of damage. There blocked 1 hit, and yeah, there goes like a third of my life, which is, you know, that is quite insane. Red Skull, he can still like slip you up at times for sure, but for the most part, he's kind of like a dead defender now. But yeah, this fight's going pretty well. We just do another double medium hit, and look at that, 21,000 this time around. It is just so much fun, man. Like, these bosses are pretty fun to do. Like, just, you know, keep on spamming that medium attack, and look at this. Just some more damage output there, getting some bleeds and poisons up. So yeah, just a really fun time. There we don't get the dex because yeah, his SP2 still catches me off guard for sure, but it's not too bad. So here we just go back in, another double medium, a lot of damage there. Get the stun here so we can fuse it for a poison. And yeah, now we have the True Strike up, so that gives us more like, you know, armor, like ignorance, resistance, like, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, we just ignore the armor pretty much. And yeah, like 1 minute 19 seconds, pretty dang sweet. And now we have this War Machine fight. And this one is just crazy, man. So basically, this has a node where for each debuff on you, you take less Thorns damage, right? And if you're a villain, which Venom is, he reflects it back to the opponent. So yeah, the result is just kind of madness, man. But yeah, like here we take some damage at the beginning of the fight, right? But then, watch this. He throws the SP1, and it is now showtime. Look at this. Look at this. It's just a lot of like extra damage there. It is quite insane. And then we do it again. We block an SP1. So now we have 5 debuffs on us. Then we go back in and then watch this, man. Yeah, he is starting to melt for sure. Just a really, really fun fight. There I get hit though, and I have ruptures on me now. So I'm like, okay, let's just end it fast. And we do just that. So yeah, a really clean fight overall. And that'll be it for this introduction video. Let me know your thoughts on Venom. I feel like Venom is just a very solid character still. Like, he's quite old, but he's still just really, really powerful, I feel like. So yeah, Venom, awesome champion. And yeah, that's about it for me.